All right. Well, would you ever go to a movie by yourself? Yes or no?
Honestly, I mean, this is a hot. I've seen both sides of this, and I think as I get older, I start to maybe think that the people who go to the movies by themselves aren't huge losers. Because I mean, you get married. What happens? I mean, picture this: you're 40. They just remade Step Brothers. I don't know who's going to be the stepbrother at that point in time. Your wife says, "I'm not going. The kids are at home." You know, maybe you have a daughter, you're not super fond of her sports, so you don't want to go to her game that night. Um, and you and you think, you know what? I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna go watch Step Brothers, the remake. It disappoints you, but you know what? You and the 10 other people in the theater are gonna enjoy yourselves. I mean, I don't know. I personally, I think there is a point in time where you just think it's okay. Well, could you do it in high school? No, I don't think you could. I think in college, maybe, but you can't tell anybody. And I think once you're an adult, I think you can.
I'd agree. It's definitely an age thing. Like as you get older, it's like, dude, screw it. Like I have nothing else to do. Like you said, the girls away, the kids are away. Like I just want to go see this movie. No one else wants to go see it with me, so I want to go see it. It's like kind of like going to a bar. It's like, well, like
Yep.
just gonna go to the bar. I'm gonna have some drinks at the bar, watch the game, and I'm gonna head home.
Yep.
So I would say, sure, why not?
Yeah. You had a long day at the office and you go to the Chili's bar, you get a quesadilla and you wind down. I mean, it's no different than going to the movies. I mean, if theaters exist um, in the future, who the fuck knows at this point? But I don't know. I think it's definitely a relaxing treat when you're of age to probably get away from your family that you're with all the time, especially if you have like younger kids. Maybe it could be something that it would be nice to do.
I feel like when I get older, I'm not gonna like go to the theater by myself because first, I don't usually go just to go to the. I don't go watch movies a ton, but like I feel like if I wanted just to get away, I would just go somewhere in my house to watch a movie by myself and
There's
like treat
something about
myself
the
It's
that way.
true.
feeling, though.
Like go like grab a bottle of bourbon or whatever, some wine, whatever, and just drink while watching a movie by myself or watching a show, just like relax like that. I can't see myself going to a movie the Marcus Theaters getting a 44 ounce of soda and a tall thing of popcorn and watching the remake of Step Brothers. I don't see myself.
That
I'm
is
not
true.
saying I'm not
But I
saying you
mean,
guys can't do it. I'm just saying I don't see myself doing it.
I don't know if I'll ever be in a situation where I'd have to go by myself. I just can see why, especially like, I mean, when you get older and like maybe your friends move somewhere else or you got to move for a job or something like that. But at the same time, I don't know. Not that when you talk about it, sometimes it makes it seem weird. Like we're the weird guys for going to the movie theater while you're sitting at home.
I mean,
Going
I'm
to
just
the
enjoying a night.
No, dude, going to the movies. If you don't think it's acceptable to go to the movies by yourself, you've never gone to a movie by yourself.
I
That's the
haven't.
Never
only.
done it.
I always thought that for the longest time, and I had to get like my tires changed one time, and you gotta kill some time. Walk down the street to a movie. Went by myself. Liberating. Just incredible to do it. You see a movie you don't really want to see. You're just hanging out by yourself. Especially you do it during the day. There's one or two people in the theater. It is incredible. So yeah, it's obviously acceptable. It only gets more acceptable as you get older, but it's like I'm not gonna go and sit at home when you could go to the movie by yourself. Like sitting at home is definitely just not the same movie experience. If you're gonna go see a movie that you want to see, somebody will come with you. But if you're just killing time, it's like I got 3 hours to kill. I'm not just gonna sit around doing nothing. Like just go see a movie by yourself. It's time to grow up.
I definitely agree on the daytime movie. I would definitely see like a matinee, like just like randomly by myself, especially if it was like getting towards the end of that movie being in there in the theaters. Sure.
When it only shows at like 1:30 and 3:45
Yeah.
on like the
Yep.
side bin.
I would definitely slip my little bottle of Jack Daniels in with me too. Sip on it. Beep, beep.
Yeah, maybe a cigarette. Who knows? What kind of sprinkler system they got in there?
Is it acceptable to drink in a movie theater? Do you think it'll ever be acceptable for like not acceptable? Do you think it'll ever be like there'll be like a bar for a movie theater?
There is already.
Yeah,
I couldn't
they have it.
imagine.
It's
I couldn't
made for-
imagine that not being a thing. Like,
But like legit like in like the back of like the theater. It's like you can go just get a bar. It's not like you have to order from the theater.
I bet you it exists in areas where there's a little more income.
I would also think that like that'd be tough because you'd have a lot of people getting up and going to the bathroom a lot. You'd have a lot of people getting up and going to the next drink. It'd be really distracting for the movie. So that'd be
Drinks.
like you'd have to find a middle ground.
Drinks are probably $15 a pop.
Oh yeah,
Get 'em
definitely
there.
stadium beers for sure.
They make what you're thinking of. They have that. They make that. No, there's not going to be a bar in the back of a movie theater that is supposed to be silent and everybody's sitting in a dark room doing nothing. What you're thinking of is just like a restaurant movie theater, and they make
Yeah,
those.
I know.
They make those
I
all
know.
over.
I've seen those. We have one by me.
No, not like in the back of the theater. I mean, like they have like a couple different like back bars. Like you walk out, and it's like in between 4 or 5 different like shows or like theaters. They have like a small bar, and like you can grab 2 drinks and bring them back.
Well, why not just let the regular counter serve the alcohol?
Because you're not going to want to walk all the way to the middle of the theater. Like it's like at the sides.
You're not gonna want to card everybody either. That's the thing. I mean, say you're going to see Avengers, right? And there's a line 40 people long. You're gonna card everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to have its own. Because I mean, maybe 3 people out of that 40 are probably getting an alcoholic beverage.
But like I'm saying, like a bar, not like the snacks
Yeah.
and like the soda. You're saying like that's purely alcohol.
Yes.
Dude, I was just a thought, you know.
That's a terrible thought. They're not gonna make that.
Yeah,
They're not gonna put.
It's never gonna happen.
Yeah, it would be tough because you'd have the whole distraction aspect would be people getting up and all that. So
Yeah.
Where
They're
do
not
you
gonna
get
put-
after the movie?
No, they're
No,
not gonna put
not-
3 like mini bars everywhere for the like 4 people that want alcohol that aren't just gonna bring in like little shooters.
You attract a new crowd, you know.
Those people are just gonna go to
Also-
bars.
yeah, how much drink money are you really making off people in like an hour and a half movie or a 2-hour movie? Like you'd have to be really putting them down to really need it there.
I mean, that's the same
I'm gonna go to the
thing
movie and
for-
have 1 beer. No.
That's the same thing for for an NBA game though. I mean, those aren't super long. And you
Yeah,
can
but
get
you
really
also
good
you also
watch.
have 17,000 people there. Not all of them are of age, but half to 2/3 of them are of age. And half to
That's
2/3 hate their
Yeah.
kids there. So like I'm just gonna go take them to the game, pound 6 beers, whatever, and then drive home and be like, all right, well I made it home. I'm happy I made it home. They get pulled over this time.
All right, so big news in the NFL this week was the Carson Wentz trade. We have Carson Wentz to the Colts for a
He's
second
washed,
and
dude.
a future third, right?
He's washed.
It's a conditional second. Wentz has to play, I believe, 70% of the snaps for it to become a first. Or is it 75% to become a first, or 70% if they make the playoffs? And then it still becomes a first. So I think it's a fucking steal if he plays anything like he's capable of playing. I don't know if you could name, I mean, if we're talking physical talent, you can't name a whole lot of quarterbacks in the league that have the tools he has when it comes to size, athleticism, and arm strength. Yeah, he lost some with the ACL. But, I mean, these fucking Bears fans, man, Carl, Big Cat, all these guys on Twitter, White Sox Dave, complaining about Carson Wentz. He could walk in there right now and be the best quarterback in Bears franchise history. Literally. He could walk in playing as bad as he is, and he's the best. They've never had a 4,000-yard passer. Wentz is throwing the fucking trash cans in Philly, and he threw for 4K in 2019. So it's like, what are you fucking talking about? I mean, for that deal too, I don't know. If you're the Bears, how do you not offer that? I mean, Wentz is also throwing his weight around too. So who knows if, I mean, I'm sure he wanted to go.
Wentz said he
Who's
didn't want
that?
to go to the Bears. That's why they were
Yeah.
throwing shade. Wentz said he didn't want to go to the Bears. That's what they
Yeah.
said. Fuck Wentz.
But they were saying that before, though. I mean, you listen to Redline Radio and stuff, and they hated the idea before Wentz even said anything. It's like, who else are you gonna get? They don't have the resource. They can't match the Finns or the Jets for Watson, even the Panthers. So it's like, you can't draft anybody. You finish in the middle of the pack. You can draft Mac Jones. Fucking
Zach
tubby
Wilson,
nerd, man.
yeah.
All he's good. He's only good for lobbing it to Devontae.
I definitely think it was a good trade for the Colts because they don't like you said, they don't have to draft a guy. Like, what pick do they have? Probably high teens. They were almost in the playoffs, or they were.
They were in the
But
playoffs.
They were in the playoff.
They were in. Okay, well, yeah. Then you're not going to get a good enough pick for a quarterback, and you have Phillip that just retired, so you obviously need a guy. And I think a second and third round for a chance on Wentz, because Wentz is definitely like, you don't have to love him. You don't have to tell me he's elite, which I don't think he is, but he is definitely a starting quarterback in the NFL. Like, of the 32 quarterback spots, I think Wentz is good enough to be in one of them. So why not go to a team that just had their quarterback retire? Like, it makes the most sense. I think it was a good trade, and I hope he revives. I have nothing against Wentz, so I hope he has a good career there.
Maybe.
I don't understand they say, like, it feels like Carson Wentz is now bad because of the narrative in the, like, that media gives him. Carson Wentz was insane. Like, Carson Wentz was not as good as Jared Goff coming out of college because he went to, like, a smaller school. Then he killed it early in his career, and people were like, holy shit, Carson Wentz is insane. And then he had the year that he was going to be an MVP, then got hurt, and then they won the Super Bowl. And like, okay, well, Carson Wentz is coming back. And then since then, he's just like, their team has been bad. They have not been a Super Bowl level team. And he hasn't played as well.
Yeah.
They haven't
But
been a playoff team. They haven't been.
They haven't.
playoff
Not even close.
Aaron Rodgers struggles getting teams to 10 wins when he throws to dumpsters that are on the field. Like, and Carson Wentz isn't Aaron Rodgers. Nobody is Aaron Rodgers. Like, Patrick Mahomes maybe, but like the fact, so Carson Wentz can't carry an entire football team on his back in his fifth year in the league, sixth year in the league, whatever it is. Like, he can't carry an entire NFL franchise. I'm not like, why are we moving off of him now that Patrick Mahomes is better than Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz isn't the fucking bee's knees anymore? All of a sudden, Carson Wentz is not that good and he's terrible. Like, the Eagles are not good. Carson Wentz is fine. He probably needed to go somewhere else, but like, Carson Wentz has proven that he's a good quarterback. He's athletic. He can throw a ball far. Like, there's just no, I don't understand how Carson Wentz is now bad because he had a rough season.
Yeah, especially when the media narrative about him literally a few months ago before the season was, this guy is so talented, he can carry the Eagles on his back to like lead the NFC East. Mm-hmm. And it's like, he's still the same guy. Yeah, he's not the most accurate quarterback in the world, but when you're that big, that fast, and have that good of an arm, like, if he was the most accurate QB in the world, he'd be an MVP every year. So it's like, I don't know. I think the Colts are immediately a Super Bowl contender. I mean, they're already 10-5 or 10-6 or 11-5.
I believe it was 10-6. Yeah, maybe 11.
It can't be 10-5 because he plays 16 games, but good try, guys.
Yeah. I know. I realize that. Hey, chill. But like, I don't know. I at best, I think they can probably be a 12-14. They're scary. I think they got a lot better with that. And how about the Rams? I don't know. I didn't listen if you guys talked a lot about that. How much better do you think they are with Stafford as opposed to Goff?
I'm gonna make one more comment about Wentz.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Doesn't have to play Wentz. All his home games are in a dome, which obviously is going to help because he doesn't have to play with weather conditions. His offensive line has gotten better because the Eagles' offensive line was terrible. He was sacked so many times last year.
Yeah.
Like, he himself is now going to be able to play better, not having to deal with any conditions. He's perfect conditions every home game. Not saying every game he's going to play is in perfect condition. Plus, he has a decent offensive line and a better offensive line. And if the Colts really want to go after a good, better offensive line, they can draft that to protect him because they know he's a good quarterback.
Well, I think they had the second greatest offensive line in football. I think the Browns had first, or maybe it was Browns, Packers, and then Colts. But I mean, they kept Phillip Rivers upright. It's like, they're good. I don't know. I mean, they got a stud at running back. I think Taylor's going to be a good player. I was a little bit off on him at first. I mean, just like Dylan, where he's just not getting any reps. So I'm immediately going to bail. I'm immediately going to say he sucks if he's not playing, especially as a running back. But obviously, I was proven wrong against the big games. And they have receivers. I don't remember all the. I mean, Ty's old, but they got a few other younger receivers that are pretty good as well. I can't remember all their names.
Pittman was a rookie. Yeah.
Pittman, Pascal at tight end.
Yeah. So it's like if Wentz has a bad year, then I think you can confidently say he sucks ass. But I can't see it happening. I don't really. Maybe he's not amazing because I think they're going to run the ball quite a bit. But I mean, statistically amazing. But I mean, it's hard to go wrong if you fuck up that lineup. Then you just think. And
the Colts are actually, as a Gator fan, one of the teams I wanted Kyle Trask to go to because I think they're just so set up running. They have pass catching out of the backfield and receivers. Like they have the tight end, the line, and they have a really good young defense. Don't sleep on the defense. They have a very good linebacker core. So that's a very good situation for him.
Yeah, what are your guys' thoughts about the Lions?
Yeah, the Stafford to the Rams and Goff to Lions.
Are they the second best team in the NFC?
The Rams?
Yeah, go ahead, Casey.
Well, who you got? You got the Buccaneers first, correct?
If the Buccaneers bring everyone back, I think yes. Because
don't do this again. Don't do it again.
Tom Brady.
We're gonna say Tom Brady's team is not the best team. We didn't have an episode last week, and I couldn't talk about this. Don't do it again. We can. We'll pretend to float over it. Like it's not like we're gonna pretend that we didn't say Tom Brady's team maybe isn't the best.
That's what I'm saying. I said I did say they're one.
If everybody comes back, if they could lose a quarter of their roster and they should still be the best team. It's like every year saying the Bucs are the best team in the East and then they just refuse to win. But you don't pick the team that just keeps winning. Tom Brady, the Buccaneers, as of today, the Buccaneers are the best team. And until they lose in the playoffs or don't make the playoffs, they're the best team because they have Tom Brady under center. There's no way around it anymore.
I think the Rams are the second best team.
Okay.
I would still put the Packers above the Rams. I don't think adding Stafford makes them better than the Packers. The defense is better.
I agree with Bernie.
I can't. Stafford is he's a great he's a good quarterback. Like he has good stats, but has he ever had a winning record?
You're talking about a Hall of Famer.
It's a
Hall of Fame
statistically,
Kyle.
Yep. Hall of Famer you're talking about.
He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. When he's had a good receiver, he has done well. He has had Kenny Galladay, who is injured, and then his next was Marvin Jones. He's had no run game. He's had a terrible offensive line. He's had a terrible defense. You bring him to LA with a young head coach who has proven that he can win with Jared Goff, who is not a Hall of Fame quarterback. He has a good slot receiver. He has Robert Woods. He has Higbee, and then he has a good run game and a good defense. You're telling me that the Rams aren't going to be very, very good next year.
Well, they're going to be very good.
I think they're going to be very good, but I wouldn't put them second in the NFC. I don't even think they'll make it to the NFC Championship.
I think it's a close one to the Rams and the Packers, but I think the Rams are a little better.
I think the Seahawks are on a slippery slope to becoming irrelevant again.
Mm-hmm.
I would put the Rams above everybody. I mean, the Niners are going to be. I mean, if Jimmy is somewhat decent, you can't really ever count out the Niners if he's healthy. Or maybe they go get somebody, who knows. But I mean, yeah, I don't see who you can put above the Rams at 3. I mean, I think it's 3 and then everybody else, honestly, because the Saints are going to be terrible, and nobody in the NFC East is going to be good. Yeah, So it's like maybe the Cowboys. Who knows? I mean, you can't really. Dak's a good. I'm super high on Dak. I'm probably too high on Dak, but
No, he's good though. He's good. He has, and again, if they keep Amari and CD keeps improving, you have Zeke, you have an awesome offense line. Their defense is the only bad thing. If they don't fix their defense, they will not go anywhere in the playoffs.
Their O line was actually very hurt this year. They're good, but they weren't healthy this year. So
I'm saying they'll
protecting
probably will win
anybody.
the NFC East though. The Cowboys.
Oh, fucking A. Anyone can win that shit.
come on, the football team, man. Were they gonna get that QB?
Are they gonna
Dude,
pick a
the
name?
QB who
Forget about
played?
QB.
What's his name?
Let's talk quarterbacks, man. There's a lot of rookies coming in that could be really good.
Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is
Well,
obviously going one.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah,
Just a freak.
Are the Jags the type of team that would be dumb enough to take Zach Wilson?
No.
You don't
They
think
would take.
so? I don't think so either.
Fields. They would take Fields over Josh Wilson or Zach Wilson because Urban Meyer.
There's no chance.
No.
I'm just saying that because of Urban Meyer. But
there's no reason.
They're dumb. They're dumb.
There is no reason, Smurs. There is no reason that you have 3 quarterback prospects in front of you, and you say, "Well, which is the best?" You say, "Oh, Trevor." Well, actually, we want the Ohio State guy. No, that's not how it goes. You're in the NFL draft. You say, "I'm going to want the best player available," and that's Trevor Lawrence.
But that's
Whether he pans out or not is up in the air. But
right, you will get fired if you don't draft Trevor Lawrence. Like
100%.
this is the Zion Williamson pick of the people that were like, I don't know, maybe Zion's not going to go 1. Like, you will be fired on the spot if you do not take Zion. People have been talking about Trevor Lawrence for 4 years, and he's finally going to get drafted. And you did bad enough to actually get the first overall pick. Like, the Jaguars have been waiting for a long time for a pick like this. You're not going to, like, you would get fired on the spot. They would clear house and say wrong.
Yep.
They're going to pick up the phone and say, who are you picking? We're going to take Justin Fields because of Urban Meyer. And they'd pick up the phone. He'd say, put the phone down. You're fired. Yep. Trevor Lawrence.
They say, Urban Meyer, you're also fired. Just cause.
Yes.
I'm saying Casey's question was if Trevor Lawrence, if the Jags were stupid enough to not take Trevor Lawrence, would it be Zach Wilson? No, it would not. It would be Justin Fields over Zach Wilson.
Well, are we talking if they didn't pick Justin or if they didn't pick Lawrence, they wouldn't go quarterback? I don't think so.
I think so. I think you're underrating Wilson, man. Have you watched a lot of game tape of him?
Doesn't matter.
I watch him because I bet on BYU every game because of him. Because he was a good quarterback. He was a stud when they played Wisconsin when he was a freshman.
Mahomes is going to get him picked in the top 3 because you're going to look at him. He can throw on the run 65 yards. He's fast. He's faster than Lawrence. He's definitely more athletic than Lawrence. I think it's bar none. He might not have the same sturdiness that Lawrence has, but he's got a much better looking face. I think he's got the QB face thing locked up easily. I think Lawrence is great looking. How often do you see super ugly top quarterbacks? How often? Not often.
Yeah.
Tom Brady is just a dime. Mahomes, I mean, he's got really cool hair. I don't think he's ugly. I think Lawrence is ugly.
Yeah.
You can't have that guy leading your locker room.
Well, he will.
If he throws for 4 touchdowns a game, I would say, yeah, he can leave my locker room.
But it's the Jaguars, guys. They got no receiver. I mean, okay, they got Shark. He's okay. I'm not a big D.D. Westbrook guy. He's not that good. They got some decent young guys on defense, but I mean, they're right. They do have that undrafted running back. I mean, who the fuck cares? That played pretty well, but I don't know. I mean, he's the lowest risk, and he's also that's why you draft him. There's really no risk. He's going to be decent. Will he top out? I don't think he has the same max potential as Zach Wilson. I really don't. I think Wilson has just as good of an arm and is more athletic. So it's like, will Wilson hit it? Maybe not. He's playing against cupcakes his entire career. He's a 1-year starter. I mean, last 1-year guy was Mitch Trubisky, and he was fucking terrible. So, I mean.
Is fucking terrible.
A lot of questions we're bringing up sound pretty reasonable.
I don't know. Maybe I'm talking myself out of it, but I mean, just
Yeah, it
from
seems like
straight.
the risk are going to outweigh the reward.
A Zach Wilson game tape versus Coastal Carolina just doesn't hold the same weight as a Trevor Lawrence game tape against Alabama in a national championship for me.
Yeah, I'm not saying. I mean, I'm Urban Meyer. That's why I took the job, because I get literally a bona fide. Would you go as far to say top 15 quarterback walking into the locker room without having played a snap?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know how bad some NFL quarterbacks are?
I was gonna say top 10. I'm like, but no.
He'll walk in day one. I'm a top 15 quarterback. He'll probably be like 15, but like there's some not good quarterbacks in the NFL, and he could get all the way into the top 10. Like he could be into the top 5 by the end of the year. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks that are like Trevor Lawrence is going to come into the league, and all of the people that are really high on whatever, like a young, like if Herbert has a bad year and Lawrence has a great year, or Joe Burrow has a bad year, like they're gone. Just write him off. We'll just write him off. He's an average quarterback, you know, like then they're going to go Trevor Lawrence as a top 10 guy just immediately.
I mean, that's the thing with Herbert. It's just Lawrence. Like that's just the same guy. So it's like I think he's gonna be good. He's gonna be
the rookie of the year. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But it's like, is he transcendent? No.
Herbert had an awesome receiving crew.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lawrence is going into dog shit. Literally dog water all around.
That's what I'm saying.
Terrible player.
And people saying Joe Burrow, like, you know, tore his ACL, was a terrible hit, but he had a good receiving crew. He had a decent receiving crew. And guess what? He still sucked. He still couldn't win games.
Oh my God. He was the most accurate quarterback within like 25 yards. The entire of all the NFL.
Yeah, how'd that work out for him? What was it?
Yeah,
what was
the
record?
Snapped. Yeah, it doesn't matter what their record was.
It does. If you're a quarterback in the NFL and you don't win games, it means you're not good.
With the Bengals, they have the worst O-line in football. They have nobody. Mixon was bought.
So if you're a quarterback that's young and you do win games, that means you're really good?
No. I'm saying, but if you're a number 1 overall quarterback and you cannot win games, you're not good.
So if you lose games, you're a bad quarterback, but if you win games, you're still not necessarily a good quarterback?
Okay, Brandon. Who would you rather have?
I just want to find this out because I've heard that Tua is bad with a winning record, but I've also heard that quarterbacks with a losing record are also bad. So I don't know who's really
Tua's not great because Tua's just stats aren't great.
Good unless
Tua's stats aren't great.
Yeah, don't use this.
You just said he was winning games, so it didn't
don't
matter.
use this to try to make yourself believe that Tua is going to be good. He missed.
I'm not saying he is.
I'm not saying he's going to be elite either, but let's give him some time first. I think 9 games is really ridiculous.
And don't use record to say he's bad. I mean, Peyton Manning was just absolutely terrible at the start of his career with just a bad. It's a bad team.
A lot of picks too, though.
Yeah,
so Brannigan, the Dolphins have the 3rd overall pick. Justin Fields, Zach Wilson, whoever you want. So, like, let's just pretend they have the 2nd pick. You're telling me you have Tua. You don't take one of them. You say, I don't want either one of these.
A quarterback.
Okay. No. Yeah, you say you between Zach Wilson,
get a receiver,
Justin Fields, and Tua.
I would take.
And you've
I would
seen
take
Tua.
an O-lineman, or I would take a wide receiver before I would take another quarterback. Because you know who did that? The Cardinals.
And that worked out really well.
Yeah, really, with their losing record, still bad.
Josh Rosen's like out of the league.
You know why? You know why they're still bad? Because they have no talent anywhere on the field. But they have Kyler Murray, who runs around like a little running back.
They have DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, they traded for him. That was a good move, but
Dolphins picked 3, right? Terrible. Jets are at 2.
Yeah,
we're 3.
Jets are. It doesn't matter. Jets are taking Wilson. You can write that down in fucking pen. You can paint it on my wall. The Jets are taking Wilson, and the Jags are taking Lawrence. So there's no reason for the Dolphins to pick. They're not going to have Wilson, so why would you pick a quarterback?
Speaking of fired on spot, I think you get fired on spot if you're the Dolphins. You take Justin Fields at 3. Get out of here. You're going to lose the entire fan base.
Do they take Sewell or do they take a wide receiver?
I say you either strengthen up that O line or you get him a weapon. If you don't get him a weapon in the draft, then you got to do it in free agency.
All right,
We gotta get
I
some
actually got an
talent
idea
on.
here. I got an idea. Since Casey's so high on draft night, I say we do a live pod on draft night and we're all watching the draft to see how it goes. And to see
Possibly.
where Zach Wilson goes for the first round.
The first round live pod. Okay, I could be down with that. That'd be fun. Get Jack on here too or something. That'd be awesome. I think that'd be good content. I don't know. I think if you're gonna ask me who the next best, I'm super high on Wilson. I think a lot of people are from what I've been seeing on Twitter. I think you almost have to go Fields with the next. Who's going to be the next best? Just because even if he can't throw, I think he'll still have that added effect. I mean, that's the same thing with Lance though too. I haven't watched Lance at all. I have no idea if he's any good. Not even 1 minute of film on him.
Who?
I've seen his picture, Trey Lance. I've never watched him
Dakota
play.
State.
Yeah, it's like I don't know, but I'm out on Mac Jones, man. I don't like him.
Fields' draft stock was dropping so hard at the end of like the season because he wasn't doing great, and then the Clemson game came on, and everyone was like, "Oh shit! Like this guy can ball. Like he can play quarterback." And then the Alabama game came on, and it was like, "All right, well this guy didn't play so well, but Alabama's defense was just so good. That's what an NFL defense is going to be." So I don't know.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I don't. It's a tough decision. Lawrence is head over heels better than anyone in the draft. That's it.
Head over heels. Okay, better or more talented?
Better and more talented.
Yeah, it's just
It's
And
not
better
head
looking.
over heels. Oh my god, that's a hot take. That fucking big guy. That's who Kid Rock was talking about. And Kyle Black can smell a pig from a mile away. That big ass schnoz on Lawrence, man. He can smell anything. He's sniffing defenders out. That's why he's not throwing picks. But I don't know. You bookmark this pod when all of a sudden Zach Wilson is throwing off his back foot 70 yards, and people are going, "Why did they take him number one?" I mean, it's I don't know. I think when you go to a franchise, you talk shit about the Jets all you want. They made it to the AFC title game with Mark Sanchez. I got a little more faith in that front office than I do the Jaguars front office. So it's like, I think they can build a team faster than the Jaguars can.
You have to also think that the Dolphins are a team that gave Ryan Tannehill, 7 years? 7 years as a starter with constant injuries and just lackluster play. So I just couldn't see it. At least this year, we're not going to take a quarterback.
That's got to be Adam. That's got to be Adam Gase at this point, don't you think? Now that Ryan Tannehill has had a absolute resurgence of a career as soon as he left the Dolphins, and the Jets now are terrible.
I actually believe that Adam Gase should never be hired by a football team again.
There's a common denominator here, and it is him. You guys should be like, you guys were like Ryan Tannehill is a terrible quarterback when you should have been saying this is a bad coach. This is the Matt Nagy situation with Mitch Trubisky. This is the exact situation.
We only had Adam Gase for like half of Ryan Tannehill's career, if that.
So,
we had a Gase for like 2 or 3 years.
I just don't think Tannehill's that good.
And we went to the playoffs in his first year, so everybody was like, "Holy shit, Adam Gase!"
Tannehill's got a really good run game around him.
Tannehill can run play action passes to wide open receivers. It's like, don't get fooled.
Don't get fooled. Tannehill's average as hell.
Yes, he's average at best. He's way overrated on Madden too. I think they got him at a mid 80s. The fucking guy can't throw a fly route. So it's like, I don't know. I'd rather have Tua than Tannehill.
Speaking of average, though.
Go ahead, Smurfs.
AB's corner here. We're going to Cal's corner.
Yeah.
Wisconsin Badger basketball. Everyone turn their mics off. You got about 5-10 minutes, KB, of Wisconsin basketball. This is Kyle's corner.
Welcome. I don't know where to start. Perhaps it should be that we run an offense that had to have been around when John Wooden was coaching UCLA. Had to have been. And we just refuse to change. We refuse as a fan base to say, I deserve a team that is actually good. I deserve a team that will make a run at a championship at some point in my life. No. We say we're ranked, of course not in the top 10, mind you, but we're ranked. That is the best we could ever hope for from an entire basketball program. Did we come off of 2 Final Fours within the decade? Yeah, we did. What did we do with it? Nothing. We got bad recruits and we just refused to improve. Instead of saying, Bo Ryan, you did really well. Let's take this as a starting point and keep going from here. We said, let's hire Bo Ryan 2.0 and let's do the exact same thing for another decade. And once in a while, they're going to pretend to beat a good team, and they're just not. And then they're going to turn around and lose to an under 500 team like Penn State. They are bad. Wisconsin basketball is torture to watch. People bet on if they will score 40 points in a game. In 2021, I look at these games and say, I hope we score 50. I'll be shocked if we score 60. It is truly incredible to have an entire fan base be okay with mediocrity. And it's pushing me away. Don't make me become a Marquette fan. Don't do it. It is incredible, truly incredible to say, I would rather be ranked 21 for 10 straight seasons than to be 500 and then maybe make a run at a Big Ten title and maybe win a championship. Wisconsin refuses to be actually relevant by getting good recruits. Do you want to switch to an NBA style offense, get good recruits? No. I would much rather run the swing, get 3-star guys here because they're going to run my system, run a packed defense, shoot 37%, and just pray that teams have a bad night. And then when teams are actually bad, when teams play poorly against Wisconsin, they go, look at this. The system works. Wisconsin is really good. But when teams play well, they're like, well, they have more talent than us. What do you want us to do? What a horrible way to look at an entire program. It's ridiculous. I'm on the verge of giving up on them. I will become a Marquette fan if they don't change something soon. I'm done.
And like if a team shoots bad against Wisconsin, they're like, oh, defense, the defense is just playing so well. Brad Davidson took 3 charges today. I mean, she might be the best defender ever,
They refuse to improve. They've had the same team. They're older than the Chicago Bulls, and they can't beat college teams. I don't understand what is so difficult about being a good basketball team with the same 4 players. And if the or the same, because they just rotate one guy. If you have these same players and they're not improving, you're telling, why can't we then get somebody else? And if you can't get somebody else, you shouldn't be the coach then. Wisconsin came off of 2 Final Fours and they said, let's get worse. I don't understand where we go from there. Fire Greg Gard, 1. Everybody else, feel free to jump on the bandwagon. It's been here for a while. Don't let getting close to beating a ranked team once in a blue moon fool you. We're not good. We're probably going to go to the Sweet 16 again just because we only play with juniors and seniors on the floor. And everybody's going to pretend like we're good. And we'll be like, look at this. We made it to another Sweet 16 and we lost again. And, nobody's going to be surprised. And then people are going to be like, well, it was actually a pretty good season if you think about it, as if Wisconsin is some third world country. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and it wasn't even just 2 Final Fours. I mean, there were 2 pretty highly touted NBA recruits as well. I mean, the precedent was set for Wisconsin basketball to turn around recruiting because, the limited amount of super talented recruits in state, it seems like Wisconsin doesn't have a chance. And and for the marquee program, when there's the little brother Marquette getting these recruits, you can't let that happen. That's a detriment on the school, on the coaching staff. I don't care what it is. If you have to get rid of Under Armour and go with Nike, with Jordan Brand, literally anybody else to get these recruits to come here, cut them a check every now and then. If they want to drive a Lexus, get them a Lexus. It's just, something's got to give because I think the fans deserve better. There's a lot of loyal Badger fans out there, and they deserve better than this.
Yep. You call the donor and you say, we're in contention for this 5-star player who's in Wisconsin, so he should want to go here, but we have no other pluses because we do not play an NBA-friendly style game. Let's buy him an Escalade. You're telling me they're going to say no? No, they're going to say, why don't we get 2 Escalades, one for him and one for his parents?
Yeah. Something has got to give. And I think, I mean, even for football turned around because they went out and got a quarterback finally.
Yep.
They finally did. And people are still complaining about him. Do I think he's perfect? No. But he's got at least 4 stars next to his name. So that's a lot better than anybody else they've had.
Yep. Give me an
And,
All-American.
He's only a freshman too. Like he's gonna be good.
Every other team switch. Nobody else runs our team. Like Virginia does what we do, and we're not as good as Virginia, and we will not be as good as Virginia. It's time to give up on trying to be them. Maybe we step into the 1990s, or I mean, do we dare get into the 2000s and just run a bunch of pick and rolls like every other team in the country and shoot threes? Maybe you bring in a freshman, and hear me out, he might be a high recruit. I mean, we play in the Big Ten. Madison's a cool place. All you have to do is say, you're going to start, and we're going to switch up our offense. Shoot the ball.
Shoot a lot. Yeah. You're going to score. We're going to give you a chance to score.
There's plenty of good recruits that come out of Wisconsin. Wisconsin just doesn't get any of them because they say, we're not going to let you shoot the ball all the time, even though you're probably the best player on the court. So ignore that. And just completely ignoring the fact that nobody's going to want to go there. Like, you're just never going to take that next step of being like, you're just average. You're an average team. You're going to be an average team forever until you finally get something that makes you good.
Hero was a shot to the heart of Wisconsin basketball because I think it's one thing if you're getting NBA draft buzz before you go to college, but Hero's a guy where he's talented. He wasn't even a McDonald's All-American. And so you have the chance to go to your state school who you originally go to, and you decide, no, I'm going to better myself. I'm going to go to Kentucky, and he makes it big. It's like, if you're another recruit, say you play in the smaller division of Wisconsin, you're tearing it up. You're unbelievable. Wisconsin offers you all of a sudden towards your senior year, you get an offer from, a major SEC school. It doesn't have to be Kentucky, but let's just say it is. You're not going to pick Wisconsin because this already worked. Somebody already did it. If I just play my game, I'm going to get opportunities as a freshman. And I'm going to get.
And on top of it, and if you're playing for Wisconsin, you're probably going to be there 3 years. Like there's no one and done. Like you're not going one and done.
Yep.
Like Marquette, you can go one and done.
And that's fine. That's fine. But then let's stop the charade that we are a good team. Let's quit pretending that we have a chance and say we are going to finish 5th in the Big Ten. We're going to maybe get to a Sweet 16 and let's call it a day. That's fine. I'm just not going to be a fan of the program. It's just it's so easy to switch up your playing style. It's really not that hard to do it. Will you go 500 some years? Yeah, you might, because you won't have as much talent. But the years that you're good, you'll actually be good. There's enough talent. There's enough NBA talent in Wisconsin for Wisconsin to be good consistently, especially with Illinois. Like you have Chicago right there. Why can't we just run a halfway decent modern offense and let's stop pretending we're good. It's either one.
I think people thinking that that Wisconsin's going to be able to recruit California, they're blowing smoke. There's no way. It'll never happen. None of these warm weather state kids are going to come here. But there's no reason that Wisconsin can't recruit the Midwest. Whether it's Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, obviously Wisconsin, Minnesota, there's no reason that we're one of the. Wisconsin is one of the most prestigious programs in this area. So from a basketball standpoint, at least, who else has this track record that's in close vicinity? Nobody in Illinois. Ohio State's had NBA players, but it's not like they're a powerhouse. So
Only powerhouse in the Midwest, really, in the last 30 years is Michigan State, consistently.
yeah,
Michigan now too.
Michigan now, but like in the last 30 years, like it's always been Michigan State. And Michigan State has a very modern offense. When Wisconsin went to the Final Four, they were averaging 75 to 80 points a game.
yeah. And there's no
And that's a
reason that
lot.
Wisconsin, there's no reason
Like-
Wisconsin should be able to out-recruit Michigan State. Maybe not Michigan, because Michigan is, I think it's one of those programs that's, maybe that's just that bias
They have an
thinking
NBA
that
coach.
they
They have
always
an
think
NBA
so.
coach. They have a
Yeah.
coach who played in the NBA for a long time, and he's trying to get these guys to be like, okay, this is what you need to be an NBA player. If you don't want to be an NBA player, then don't come here. He's getting
I think
guys that are
that's-
going to play the NBA style.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're a college athlete and you see yourself and you're a 4.5, you're a 5-star recruit, you want to make the league, you want to provide for your family. You don't care about college at that point. So it's like you want to give people the best chance they have to succeed. Wisconsin just can't do that. And that's frankly why I don't watch. I mean, I love watching college basketball if I know there's NBA talent on the floor. That's my thing. I'm not a good college sports fan by any means, but it's like if I know there's NBA talent, I don't care who it is. Like I'll tune in. If I see your name on a mock draft early on in the season, and I see you're playing, like I'm at least gonna stop by. But it's like, I don't know. I just don't. If you're not winning championships with what you have, then you got to change. And I don't see Wisconsin win the championship
Anytime soon.
So basically, what I'm gathering is that Wisconsin is poor.
Yes.
They are
Yeah.
a poverty program. They can't
Yes.
afford to do the things needed to be done.
Yes.
Is that what I'm getting? Okay.
We don't have that SEC money, Brannigan, where the football team can fund us spending money on all the other sports
Well,
too.
you guys have a McDonald's, right? You have a
We do.
McDonald's. You just talk a little in the bag. That's what I've heard at least.
Yeah.
From that ugly orange team over in Tennessee. But anyways,
Yeah,
okay. So finally, we're gonna head into Bachelor. We'll skip over last week's season or episode, but we have a big one. This was the week before hometown. So, what'd you think, Casey?
I thought it was probably the best episode so far of the season, with crazy things happening. Matt getting rid of Abigail, major heel heat for me. I really thought she was super cool. And I mean, if you're gonna have a boring turd like Matt as the Bachelor, at least have somebody with a good story. I mean, everybody else, I haven't really connected a whole lot. I think Rachel was in my top 3 to start the show because I thought she was one of the better looking ones on the show. That's the only reason I based it on. But as far as that goes, like, I don't really have a whole lot of connection to anybody else. I mean, I know Kyle's a big Brie guy. I'm not really super sold on anybody. I think the teacher's pretty exciting. She's got a good attitude, but I don't know. And then Kit leaving too. Kit finessed the Bachelor. Kit probably gained hundreds of thousands of Instagram followers just for being on the show and just absolutely dipped.
Yep.
So I don't know. I don't know who Matt's gonna choose. I just know I hope the next season it has a little bit more exciting protagonist to it.
Their speculation is that Abigail might be the next Bachelorette.
That would be awesome.
No,
It's Abigail or Katie, they're saying. So dildo or death.
Katie. Yeah, it'll be
Dildo or
Katie.
death.
Abigail seems
Katie's
nice, but
fancy
she's not like a main character in a TV
Nope.
show.
100%. 100% does not have the Bachelorette ability to carry the
Yeah.
show.
Can you imagine her sending people home too? It's just
No, there'd be
yeah.
tears at every rose ceremony.
Yeah.
No, that was just how I was reading it. That was the speculation where those two are going to be the ones that do it.
Katie
I
would be a good
heard-
one.
I heard that Piper makes it to what's the Bachelor season where Paradise.
Bachelor in Paradise.
Dude,
Yeah, I heard Piper
that's
makes it to
legit.
Paradise. That'd be nice. Yeah, I've never seen Paradise, but
I have not seen Bachelor in Paradise. This is my first. I'm like Brandon. This is my first kind of tenure into it. I mean,
mhm.
Bachelor
It's-
in Paradise is head over heels. It's like a month and a half thing. I think there's like it's quick because they go Monday, Tuesday. Like Bachelor's usually Monday. Like Bachelor in Paradise is Monday, Tuesday every week. I think for 4 weeks
yeah.
or something like that. And it's crazy. There's so much drama because there's guys and girls and they're all fighting for the same people. And it's just like someone's got to go. It's crazy. It's awesome.
I feel like I get more into that than So I remember the Big Brother on TV. They used to have like Big Brother After Dark where they would bang and stuff. It's like I want to see more of that. Let them get down and dirty, physical on the show. And it seems a little elementary.
There's websites for that, Casey.
Not like that. You know what I mean? I don't need to see all of these things, but
okay.
Come on, make a little more
in between.
exciting.
What's something for the imagination?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I just, I'm not talking like, I think you mentioned in one of the group chats where it's like cameras where like they're not like camera crews around, like, you know what I mean? Like just the cameras in the room that are picking up on people saying stuff, like mean things. It's like, let's get it more dramatic.
I said I wanted to see more like off camera, like, because at the end of this last episode, they showed Michelle in like a light that we haven't seen her, like having fun, being goofy, and I didn't never take her as that kind of person. So I wish we. I wish we saw more like uncut stuff. So
Rachel's gonna win though.
I hope so too. But after this big news story that broke,
dude,
I wonder what's gonna happen with all that.
Can somebody explain me how vulgar was the party she was at? Was it like blatantly?
What happened?
She was at some kind of like plantation themed party, but I haven't seen the picture of it.
Do you know it, Kyle?
I thought it was. I read a thing that it was. It was like a frat party in Georgia that was like 1800s themed, which Georgia in the 1800s, is not exactly a great time to be alive. But so like pictures that I think that was like 5 years ago. Or something like that, or like it was a while ago.
I think it was 2 years only because I think she's really young.
Yeah, isn't she? I heard 2018.
So, like it was before, like any of this like stuff with The Bachelor obviously happened, and then, so I guess like that picture got leaked, and everybody's really upset about it, and then like Chris Harrison got interviewed, and then he basically was like, this isn't good, but like also keep in mind like we weren't having the conversations that we're having like this past year, and then he got fired.
Is he fired or is he taking leave of absence?
I don't know. I thought it was
Chris Harrison got fired.
Yeah,
it's supposed to be like
he's too invested into the show. They can't fire. I don't think they'll fire him over some comments, but who knows nowadays? But I think they gave him a leave of absence like to start. I'm not sure. I don't think he's fired.
In the preview for the next episode, who the fuck is skydiving and just absolutely smokes the ground?
I saw that. Yeah, I have no clue. I'm excited really for that though.
They're skydiving and someone just doesn't doesn't hit the ground softly. Like they just go full like face plant right near the ground.
Bring the ambulance in and stuff.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. That's gonna be awesome because like once they get to the date and you see it skydiving, we're like, oh, it's this girl. Yeah, we're gonna see her crash. Let's go. Come on.
Is it gonna be her or Matt?
No,
it's not Matt because they saw Matt running boringly after her, just trotting slowly, not
pretending that he cares about somebody.
Yeah,
the Baywatch run. He's like, no.
Yeah. Wait a second. I'm supposed to care about this. Let me go check on her. I'm supposed to have feelings. Matt is just, he's got it. I wish I watched the other Bachelor seasons. He is just the worst person to have as the Bachelor. Like, I would like to apologize publicly to anybody if I've ever uttered the words like, I don't understand why girls go for nice guys. I watched this season of The Bachelor. I get it. It's ridiculous. Like, he just has no personality. It is talking to a cardboard cutout of himself. Being nice is not a personality. It is like when it's between having a personality and being nice, or having a personality and being like a dick, or no personality. Like, they will never choose. Girls will never choose having no personality, and I get it. I completely agree, and I would apologize for that one if I ever had to say it. Matt is terrible. He just like, there's no personality behind him. There's no fun things that maybe he does it, but I think Michelle's going to win. Like, Michelle actually has like a real personality, like somebody that like seems fun. And that's like, Matt seems like he needs that person, or else it's just not going to work. Like, you can't have two really boring people in a relationship, or else you're just going to sit in silence.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but I've enjoyed The Bachelorette much more than The Bachelor. Much more. I don't know if it's just a personnel, but this is like, I've fallen asleep in probably a quarter of the episodes just out of boredom itself. And I feel like I was more on the edge of my seat for The Bachelorette. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that is a hot take, but I'm passing off for probably like a good 10 minutes. I would say not a majority of the episodes, but a good portion of them.
I'm not gonna lie, I skip through a lot of times where it's just Matt talking to the girl because I know it's just gonna be a terrible conversation. It's gonna be really boring, so I skip a little bit. And they're talking about something amusing. I'm like, okay, I'll rewind for a little bit, see what they're talking about. But if it's not, I'll skip and just let the girls talk and see the girls drama because that's the most interesting part.
If you want to know, if you want to know what happens on these dates, what happens is they ask Matt, they say, so how are you handling all of this? And he like doesn't know how to compute that in his brain to actually have a legitimate emotion. So he goes, I'm just trying to be authentic. And I told myself that I'm going to trust my heart that I'd assume is ice cold. And then he just goes, what about you? And then they actually have a real emotion. And like, it's actually really hard seeing you date other women, which again, don't come on the show. This is just, this is not your show. And then Matt goes, I really feel for you. And I want you to know that I'm here for you. Like his personality is pretending to be there for these girls. And then he turns around and he's like, you got to go home.
Yeah.
Like,
can I walk you out though?
Yeah.
Can I walk you out?
He's just terrible. I don't like, that's how every single one of these dates goes, that like these girls are talking and they have a legitimate emotion and Matt's just like, yeah, I get that.
Who was on the yoga
For any comment, he's just like, I want you to know that you're here because I like you. And they're like, okay, I need to hear that. That's every single conversation.
Cal, who was there on the yoga date? I can't remember her name.
Serena P.
Yeah. She goes, yeah. This made me super uncomfortable. And Matt just goes, I like when we sat together.
Yeah. The guy just like can't handle like a regular conversation. That's he is not fun. I would imagine that like I would imagine if you're like his best friend, he talks to you like he just met you. Like he'll ask you, he's like he sees you every single day and he'll be like, oh, like how's work going? It's like, you don't care. Like, what is this conversation going to be about right now? I'm going to say like, oh, it's fine. You're going to be like, oh, that's cool. Like, it's just, you're just talking to fill space. That's what every single one of his conversations feels like. And it is pure agony to watch. It is, I feel the real winner of this show is going to be whoever doesn't have to marry Matt. That is going to be the winner of this show. Whoever gets to come on the show doesn't have to be stuck with that just piece of paste for an entire lifetime. And then your Instagram followers are just going to be through the roof. That is the trio of winning this show.
Yeah. Would you say Kid already won at that point? I mean, she appears to be already financially stable, some kind of well-off parent in the fashion industry.
Her mom has like $100 million or some shit like that.
Yeah. So it's like she immediately can kind of spin that off into her own brand just because she was on The Bachelor. It's like, I mean, yeah, if I was, it really gets you thinking. If you're say you're a dude, super ripped, you might as well apply. Maybe you get in, maybe you don't. But I mean, you can. You get in, you don't win, boom, you turn your Instagram page into advertisement for some kind of pyramid scheme protein powder, and you're gonna make a comfortable living for 10 years.
Yep.
So it's.
I follow way too many people that do that.
There's just like that is how if I liked Matt, or if I liked the main person who's on the show that they're there to marry, I always root for the person that, like the Bachelorette. I liked that Zach was the one that won because I liked Zach. Yeah. But like Matt, I just do not like Matt. He just does not seem like a fun person to talk to. And maybe that's because he's normal when he's not on camera. I don't see that one coming. But like the real winner is, I really hope Bree take second place, or actually third place, because second place kind of seems like he might get upset. Like that's a real emotional letdown.
Yeah.
I hope Bree and Rachel both take like second, third, or fourth.
And then
Like
Michelle wins.
I hope Michelle wins because I think that she might bring like the smallest bit of joy out of Matt. Like he might pretend to have a personality a lot more for Michelle.
What's the failure rate of married couples off The Bachelor and Bachelorette? Do we know what it is? Like, it's got to be high, right?
You could probably. I mean, this is the 25th season, right? So your sample size wouldn't be great, but you.
Yeah, I mean,
divide it.
How long are they there? A couple months, right?
I think so. I'm not sure the
11%.
total time.
11%.
That's not even that bad.
Wait, 11% stay together or 11% break up?
Okay, hold on. 30% of the Bachelorette season stay together. 11% of the Bachelor stay together.
Oh,
Only
not high.
two-thirds.
That's not
Only
good.
2/3 of Bachelor seasons end in a proposal. And Bachelorette season ends in a proposal.
That's exciting though, because that does add a
yeah.
little bit of flair to the end. So now I'm going to be like, is this going to happen? That'd be
Yeah.
really funny if Matt was like, I actually dislike all of you.
Yeah.
That would make Matt better in my eyes. That maybe he just was super boring because he really did not like anybody there.
Right.
And then at that point, maybe it just wasn't for you. But now, again, he's super famous. So it's
Right.
like he won.
Yeah.
Either way, you win.
But like some of the times, like, so there was a season, I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago, and it was Aaron Rodgers' brother was it was a Bachelorette. It was JoJo's season, and he won. Like they proposed. She proposed. He proposed to her, whatever, and they are now getting married like this year, like in 2021. It's taken them 5 years. Some of these couples like don't get engaged and then get married that year. Like they did the right thing, I feel like, and they took time after they got engaged to like figure out, okay, this is actually true. I feel like the couples that go right after the season be like, well, I'm gonna take this high and then get married 3 months later, and then like, oh wait. So I knew you for 8 weeks and now I'm gonna marry you in 3 months. And then 5 months after that, like, oh wait, I actually fucking hate you off camera. We're getting divorced. And now they're making money because they're bad.
That's what Kit told him before she left, was that like, hey, I have this, and this I want to do after this. So like you're either with me for that and then we'll decide, or you're not with me. So that's why she left.
No way. There's definitely people that go into the show that are like, I'm not actually going to marry this guy. I'm going to pretend. And then I'm going to end up like bowing out. Like if you remove yourself, you were like, I feel like you're there to get famous, or you met Matt and you're like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
Could have.
And then just stayed long enough so you could be on there and people could like, okay, because
Right.
you know Kit's name.
Yep. I mean, respect the grind. That's impressive. I mean, you just became a blue check mark person on Instagram if you weren't before.
Easily.
Yeah.
Immediately.
Either way, I do love being single as shit and giving dating advice to my TV.
Yep.
But with that, a good episode, boys. Thank you for coming on, Casey.
Yeah, no problem. Always down.
You can find us on YouTube, Apple Pods, or Apple Music. Follow us on Twitter, No Dice Pod, and that'll be it for tonight.
Yes.